Now we're joined by Philip Moma himself to give us a better picture of what this whole arrangement is about and much more. Thank you for joining us, Philip.
Welcome.
Maybe you can begin by telling us what exactly is this arrangement? Is it a buyout? Is it a merger and acquisition?
Thank you, Dan. So what we've done is we've collaborated with Anderson Global, and with our collaboration, then Anderson Global working with us in collaboration, the two firms have used us as a platform to launch within the East Africa market. So it's a collaboration between Anderson Global and Nexus Business Advisory.
So in this collaboration is a pretty big word, which is not really telling us what exactly the kind of arrangement is. Yes. Is there any part of Nexus that is now going to have to be diluted into Anderson?
No. So the way we will operate going forward is we'll be part of that global firm. So yes, there will be dilution to some extent because Anderson Global then is invested now, I mean, within Nexus. So it'll be part of dilution, and we become part of that now global firm in terms of just what we call a one firm globally once we hit the deck running, which we've just now begun the process. So
basically we will no longer be seeing Nexus as a brand?
In the long run, in the fullness of time, we will rebrand and become Anderson Tech. So yes, in the fullness of time, within the next 6 months, once we go through the various processes of just winding up, yes, we will rebrand and become Anderson Tech globally.
Okay, and with this, ordinarily when you have such a company coming to the country, it creates jobs ideally. How many jobs are we looking at creating directly?
So directly as a firm, we currently in the process of just putting a team together. So in the immediate short term, in the next 3 months, we're looking at employing just about 30 to 40 professionals. And by the time we get into next year, half of next year will be largely a team of about easily 80 to 100. So without a shadow of doubt, we'll be the largest tax consultants firm in Kenya within the next 6 to 9 months.
Okay, and so when do you officially begin your operations in the new collaboration?
So in the new collaboration, so already now we are part of that global firm. It's just an issue of now time. In the next 3 months, just we have to go through rebranding and I mean from website to the whole rebranding that has to just to go through from a marketing perspective. So in the next 3 months, that will happen in the next 3 months.
Okay, and one thing that we've noticed, you know, after Anderson had its issues back in the States and it had to rebrand and the likes, it dropped the audit angle of business.
Absolutely.
Yourself, as Nexus, you've not been getting into audit. What is this? Is it a fear of audit? Because audit is, I mean, then audit is pretty big. And then again, you know, audit easily gives you business when it comes to companies have to get their books audited and the likes.
No, absolutely. Very good question, Dan. I mean, if you look at audit, it's a statutory requirement. In fact, I say audit is a statutory nuisance if you talk to people who don't know do audit per se. And audit is risky because you're coming to give an opinion on a company at the end of the financial year, and it's a catch-22 because auditors are being appointed by shareholders through the board, and the board then determines the remuneration and what the auditors will do. And we've seen world over, I think audit has been an issue. So when we began as Nexus 4 years ago as a firm, we made a deliberate choice not to go for audit services. And what that happens, I think the debacle for Anderson when happened, the implosion in 2002, with the rebranded firm globally, we are not doing audit. And by not doing audit, you're able to avoid the potential conflict of interest that arises between audit firms, because operating within an audit firm, here you will then give a tax opinion, and then at the end of the year, your colleague in audit, who is a partner in the same firm, has to give an audit opinion on a structure you've put through. So it's like more like marking your own homework. So to avoid this conflict of interest that has been there globally, we've deliberately, as Anderson, decided we're not doing to do audit. Resonates with what we're doing as Nexus. We don't do audit. So by avoiding that conflict of interest, you're able to provide pragmatic solutions to clients, what I call from cradle to grave, with all the drama that happens in audit. I mean, if you look at South Africa and the Guptas right now, that's a result of the audit drama that's happening in Botswana right now. I think it's breaking news. We've got issues on one of the big four just suffering an audit. So audit is risky, to be honest, and we deliberately made a choice to just focus on tax as a profession, and avoiding audit. I think we're able to give more value to clients, which is what clients are looking for.
Okay, and what is the value of this deal?
Well, and that's good to clarify this. So no money has changed hands per se. Okay, it's a marriage where both parties win. Our clients are able now to access a global firm and the global world-class services that Anderson provide, and Anderson is able now to use Nexus as a platform to enter into the Kenyan market. So from a value perspective, no money has changed hands per se, but again, Anderson Global is investing within Nexus for us to get the right staff, because we're getting additional staff, and I mean, we're imploding from a growth perspective in the next 3 months, bringing in 30 to 40 guys, that there's this funding out of that, but there's no deal value per se.
Okay, and you spoke about competition, and there's currently, you know, Kenya and many other countries that are dominated by the big four, you may call them that. And you've told us within the next, 6 to 9 months, you're going to be probably the biggest name. We wait here, we'll follow up on that.
Absolutely.
You know, and what different thing are you going to do that is going to make sure that, because you know you're not coming in against small names, yes, or guys who are trying to get themselves together. These are people who are well rooted in their trade. What is going to be different that is going to actually gives you the confidence that, you know, within less than a year you're going to be up top?
Well, I think having run one of the big four, having been part of the big four, I understand how the big four operate and stuff. The biggest difference that we'll bring in by not undertaking audit services, engaging with listed companies, engaging with companies within this region, the one thing that they're yearning for is tax solutions that are within the statute, because at the end of the day, when you save money from a tax planning point of view, it increases the shareholder value. Okay, I mean, all companies have a silent shareholder who's a revenue authority who own 30%. By providing solutions to companies that are able to implement, and they're able to sort of like what I call cradle to grave solutions, and giving a total solution to a client, it increases the shareholder value. Now, at the end of the day, when you increase the shareholder value, you will increase your market share. And that's the difference that we're bringing in, increasing the shareholder value by what we're providing as a firm.
All right. And anytime there's competition, it's always good for the consumer. Absolutely. More often than not, in an ideal case. Yes. Are you then saying that you're going to be offering more competitive prices? Is the pricing going to go down compared to the big four?
From a pricing perspective, even when we set up as Nexus, we've been pretty competitive from a price perspective. And now that we're going in as Anderson, we don't have the huge overhead attendant costs on PII costs that come in within an audit environment, because within the audit environment, you've got to pay quite a premium on a PII cover and the attendant cost on that. By keeping your cost at a minimum, you're able to transfer that to your consumer. So yes, we will be extremely competitive, and be sort of like a game changer within the tax arena, for sure. Right.
And now, broadening the conversation just a bit, when we talk about the entry of such big firms into the country, what value does it add to the economy at large? Because this largely we've been speaking about,
yes,
you know, Nexus, yes, and the benefits that you're going to get. Yes. But what about the economy at large? What are the benefits that Kenya stands to benefit from such?
I mean, at this point in time, when you have a global firm investing or coming into the market, and we're in decision 2017, it's a boost to the economy. It shows the investors out there have confidence in the country by coming in at a time when we haven't even decided about our elections in November 26th. It's a boost to the economy because you've got a global firm coming into the market. So it's a booster to the country in that. Over and above that, the job creation. I mean, I can tell you, for example, when we announced on Tuesday that we've partnered with Anderson, yesterday being Wednesday, I received about 130 CVs, just straight up. So it shows that there are a lot of guys yearning out. This will create jobs, would love to create more jobs, but I think that job creation in an economy whereby guys are now retrenching, we are hiring. So it shows you how, more taxes to the KRA because we'll be paying.
You can't be the tax expert who's not paying taxes.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
and for those who, like you're saying, you've got many CVs and the likes, and this is a good thing. But like you've also mentioned, it's a time when many people are averse to investment.
Yes.
We're having people holding back the investment, be it long-term or short-term. We've seen what's happened at the NSC.
Yes.
Where we've seen the shilling also taking some hits here and there.
Yes.
What confidence is it that you guys have that you're actually still you're still carrying forward with the investment, as much as it's been a long conversation?
Yes. If you look at this economy, we always have that blip when you're going for elections, okay? There's always a dip and a slowdown in the economy, and that's been the trend. I think the mistake as a business, if you make, of not investing in people, because it's a short-term measure. I mean, once we're over and done with in October and November, we inaugurate the president we will choose to elect, we will bounce back as a country. So on short-term measure, you just squeeze yourself as a business in terms of profits onto the shareholder, invest in human capital, and that pays up. It always pays. I mean, we've seen this in 2013, saw it in 2002 and in 2007, 2008. You always have to invest in people because that human capital and being in the service industry, you'll always turn around and make more money at the end of the day.
And much as this is already a foregone decision in terms of it's already a signed deal,
yes.
Is it in any way, in terms of the current political environment, the current situation that the country is in it in any way slowing some of your decisions down for now? As much as you're going to still execute them, is it slowing any of them down?
No, we've taken a bold decision to say, let's go for the jugular, even with the economy slowing down, and say, let's invest in this economy because right now, fine, the economy is on a slowdown, but I said within the first quarter of 2018, we'll be bouncing back. So we've taken a deliberate choice to invest in people, notwithstanding we've got harsh economic times. That means a bit of less returns to the shareholder, but in the overall scheme, in the long run, it's great for the company.
Okay, and just now again broadening it as we close, in terms of the economy, like you said, it's undergoing some pressures, you know, yes. because of the election season. What does the rest of the year hold for Kenya really in terms of like a projection? Considering we're just what 2.5 months to the end of it.
I mean, if you look at our economy, we are largely a net importer as a country. Looking at the statistics for the first quarter for the government year, that's 1st July, August, September, the first quarter ended 30 September, the KRA has missed their targets in a big way.
Yes.
If you look at imports, the imports have reduced, and look at the import duty that, for example, that KRA is collecting, that has reduced. Based on import, that then translates into turnover because we import, process the goods, and into manufacturing, that translates into turnover. Turnover translates into VAT, the value-added tax, or some quarters say the very annoying tax. Turnover translates into employees, into pay-as-you-earn. Turnover translates into corporate tax. So I foresee a very tough time for us as a country in the next 6 months because, again, we are going into an election, an election, which we are not budgeted for. So that has to be budgeted for. We still have competing needs in the country that have to be funded. There are nurses that need to be paid out of the strike. So there are other competing needs. So tough times for the country within the next 6 months, but it is only a short-term pain. At the end of the tunnel, I see light. I'm just hoping it's not an oncoming train.
Yeah, I hear you, and I hope it doesn't hit you hard. And then when you say that we have there's all this hope, what needs to be done in terms of the Kenyan image out there? Because a lot of investors are holding back, unlike Anderson.
Yes, I mean, yes, people are holding back. That's a fact. I think as a country, we need to get our decision 2017 over and done with. Okay, we need to agree that let's go to the ballot. Let's get October 26th happening. I mean, we need to move on as a country. The images that go out there when we decide to protest, and it's our constitution to protest in the streets and all that, doesn't paint a good picture for us as a country out there. But I think the political class needs just to bite the bullet, make the call. Let's get over and done with this in October, and then we get back into normalcy.
All right. Thank you very much. Some good insight. And
Thank you.
so are you now the managing partner of Nexus or of Anderson Kenya?
Well, I'm currently the managing partner of Nexus, and as we transition into Anderson Tax come the first quarter of 2018, I will be the managing partner for Anderson Tax within the East Africa region, because we are also investing in Tanzania. We're also setting up in Uganda. We are also doing the same in South Africa. Basically, we're taking Africa as a whole, and I'm part of that exciting times that we're doing for Africa.
And even just before I let you go, was there the threat of this being moved to another country because of Kenya's look of somewhat instability politically, especially, and this being headquartered probably in Tanzania?
No, thank you, very good question. The beauty that we are a strong economy as a country, and where we sit as a hub from a location, that threat was never there. We still got the advantage, competitive advantage of where we sit from a location perspective. So that threat largely was not there. So the East Africa, for example, the East Africa region for Anderson Tax will be headquartered out of Nairobi.
Okay. Thank you very much, Philip.
Welcome, Dad. Thank you.
The managing partner of Nexus, which soon will be Anderson Tax. That's for the region headquartered